empower your kids, empower the future generation to know or to be in tune with nature, to know they need to preserve nature. And you can only do it through some of these activities.
Hello guys, welcome back to Lartman Farms. In today's episode, we find ourselves in a very young person's farm. Would like to introduce himself.
Okay, so I'm Selorm, a level 300 student from Ghana Telecom.
Okay, and Selorm, how do you feel to have us in your farm today? I can see that a young guy like you should probably be not be focusing on anything in relation to farming in a way, because that's the narrative, but you have us here. And I can also see that you have a lot of things that you've done, a lot of crop production. Can you run us through how you started anything in relation to agriculture?
Okay, so it has to do with my parents, as in both parents. And growing up, we started with crop farming and a little bit of lettuce, cabbage here and there, okra, as you can see, coconut, tangerine, pear, mango, palm,
plantain.
So, yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. And so I can say that it's your parents that instilled some bits of farming into you.
Yep.
So Selorm, how does it feel to now have fish in your farm? Why the transition from crop to the inclusion of fish?
Okay, so basically we've been doing a little bit of crop farming for quite some time, and we needed a change.
And to describe the kind of setup they do have, we have two different tanks. They are both 15 by 15 feet tanks. Today we stocked with 1,400 per tank. Also, they have a quarantine tank, which is behind me here. And that tank is going to be a standby tank in case there's any problem with any of the fish, we can treat them over there. And I like your setup, from how you did the grounds, making sure that you did some concrete works, and then I like what you guys do have here. I can actually see that you've done your plumbing works in a way that is going to go straight into your crop farm. You are using the fish farm, the waste from the fish farm water. You are using it as an irrigation.
Yeah, that's basically the idea. Instead of using a lot of water and watering them and stuff, we can just use the wastewater from here.
So it's actually a good thing that your dad is doing for you. What he's doing is making sure that despite giving you education and you're studying in school, he's also giving you farming, which is also another thing that gives a certain level of fulfillment into your life. And you can also run that as a business, because in other countries, the rich people are those who farm.
In today's world, I can't move him to go into crop farming like I do, but I think he can combine the fish farming with whatever tuition or whatever study he's engaged in. So I sold the idea to him, and then for him to, and then I think he also showed that interest. Okay. And I said, fine.
Okay.
Why don't we invest in it as a start?
Okay. So I think so. Your dad used to do farming.
Yes, crop
and
farming.
At a point, it was kind of like giving you guys something to feed on and money and taking care of the home.
Precisely.
And now, I spoke to your son.
Yeah.
He says he's been doing something in relation to farming since about like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, why did you think that it's wise enough to pick that boy and put him into farming? Despite being in the university, studying IT.
Yes. You see, in today's world, diversification of talent in our part of the world, it's not every course of study that probably your child or your child may have what do you call it, the avenues in. Somebody will be doing science and the person will end up being a marketer in an institution. Somebody will be doing IT, but then I believe having what do you call it, another set of talent in terms of farming, and I thought fish farming would be easier for him to combine with whatever activity. But then it's a question of interest.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to allow your children to develop that natural interest. Yes.
Catch them young.
Catch them young.
And give them the interest.
Precisely. I introduced him to crop farming at a certain stage. We do it together in the farm. Go and plant this. We do this, do that. He's able to grasp it. So mine is, why don't I introduce this to him as well? One of them may come in handy in his life in future.
Yeah.
You may not have to, in today's world, you may not always have to depend on government employment or somebody's formal employment.
All right.
Mine is, give the person the talent. If he chooses to go in, he sees this as a good avenue to sustain his living. Why not? So I'm introducing him to it.
And when we had a discussion, I told him one last bit of an information.
Yeah.
That he's currently doing this, and then he's also doing IT.
Precisely.
Now, from now till his final year project or after school, I want him to look at how he can merge IT with farming. Because in Africa, we find it difficult to have good solutions for farmers.
Precisely.
And so if you have any talent and you are someone who understands the requirements of farming and you are able to contextualize it properly to the demands of Ghana and any other parts of Africa, then you have something, you have a big market to help.
You see, you unfortunately, I have moved with age, but then I think my concepts are precisely what, because mine is, as being our part of the world, why do we have to import fish?
Exactly.
Why do we have to import fish when
we have over 200? We import over $207 million worth of fish produce.
That is it.
Every year.
Every year. So why can't we have this as a source of revenue first and source of nutrition in addition to whatever income we are earning?
Yeah.
So why can't we feed ourselves?
Yeah.
If we can do aquaculture. So in his field of learning, as you rightly said, in his field of learning, if you can combine the technology aspect of it, there are certain things probably in terms of technology they can develop as a younger ones.
Yeah.
That they can develop, that probably using feeding or using doing
monitoring the
water quality
the
and
feed, the growth of the
precisely.
fish and
That
all
is
of
it.
that. Yeah.
So why he is into IT, so why don't you even develop a software that when you have your gadgets and whatever it is, immediately something is going wrong, it gives you a beep,
and then feed it back to your phone,
to your
Internet
phone,
of Things.
even this, hey, this is what is this happening to my so it's a modern where we are evolving. Now we have the what do you call it, AI, artificial intelligence. So why don't we involve some of those things in whatever we do?
Yeah.
So mine is, give our kids the field, give them the field, let them explore. They will make their mistakes. With the mistakes, they will correct those mistakes and move along.
That's amazing. I am actually wishing that a lot of parents would first of all consider giving their children that general open grounds to learn, pick up stuff. Because I was talking to him and he said the reason why he sees the fish farming as very interesting is because it brings him closer to nature.
Precisely.
And doing anything that is closer to nature gives you a certain level of fulfillment.
Precisely.
So we have people who, like yourself, whatever thing you do, you still do have a farm, you come and get your hands dirty, and there's a way you feel about all of these things.
You are in tune with nature, it makes you that humane. So, you see, I keep telling them, sometimes my kids, that look, when you are in tune with nature, it tells in your character and your character formation, who you become in future, the patience, the tolerance levels. because you can't be intolerant with nature.
Exactly. I actually got into fish farming through depression, actually. So it does a lot for the human being.
That's it.
And so you don't necessarily have to do fish farming because maybe it's all about the money.
No.
There's a lot of things that it can help you to do.
Precisely.
It's not only fish farming, even with the crop farming.
Yes.
You have a lot of space in your house. You can get some buckets. You can put some plants inside and let your children get closer to nature. Okay?
Not on the tablets, on the laptops, on the phone always. No, give them these opportunities. Give them the environment. It gives it at least that it makes them human.
Uncle Raf.
Yeah.
I'll say thank you so much for this valuable information that you've shared. And any last thing you'd like to tell people who are watching you today?
All I can tell them is, please, if you have the resources, it's not so huge, but just empower your kids, empower the future generation to know or to be in tune with nature, to know they need to preserve nature, and you can only do it through some of these activities, farming, being in tune with nature. That is very, very key and very important. So mine is, don't leave them with the gadgets, but allow them the open field to explore, make the mistakes, and at the same time do what? Correct their own mistakes, just guide them, and in future you will not regret it. Thank you.
Uncle Raf, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It means that in your house, okay, when you build, at least leave some space for this. Don't just come and do extreme real estate, trying to tile everywhere, terrazzo everywhere. Thank you very much, and God bless you. So for any of you guys who want to invest, you want to run a farm, just go and purchase the course. So it doesn't matter if you are the one financing a farm or you are taking care of fish in the farm. It is important that you have enough information about the fish farming you want to venture into. For that reason, purchase the Lartman Farms course. This farm has been set up as a result of a father looking at the child and saying, I want you to learn something. And for that reason, he has set up a fish farm for him. So if you have someone in your house, probably in the high school level, in the university level, or even a graduate who is sitting at home, you can use fish farming to help that person. Fish farming is here to stay. Thank you very much. I'll catch you same time next week. Bye.